Hello, Mr. Diong. How are you?
Hi, Marthe. I'm good and you?
Yes, I'm good too.
Alhamdulillah.
To start, you can
Mhm.
introduce yourself to talk about your background and your profession, please.
Uh, Hi, my name is Racine Diong. I'm an
Mm-hmm,
architecture student. So
mm-hmm,
after graduation, I start having internship in Dakar, Senegal, in many offices to gain experience and to learn more about architecture. So
okay.
we can go to the next question.
Okay. Can you describe one of your typical work days?
So uh, it's going to be difficult to describe a typical date,
Mm-hmm,
one typical date because we don't have a typical date. We just have task to do. So in our task, we can come and do a conception or working on site or visiting our suppliers or craftsmen. So we cannot say that we have a typical day, but that's our task, and we can do it in a day. In a day, we can come to the office and do some
mm-hmm,
conception or modeling or rendering, or we can go on site and or we can also do both. For example, in the morning we can go on site, and the
mm-hmm.
afternoon we are in the office continuing our work, our conception work or our modeling work, whatever. So this is an example of my typical day,
Okay, nice.
right?
What do you find most enjoyable in your job, and how did you get your
What do I find more interesting in my
enjoyable?
job? Enjoyable.
Yes, yes.
So I think that architecture is a field that make you express your creativity,
Mm-hmm,
because when you learn architecture, no, I'm going to explain what made me choose architecture. Before entering
yes.
to architecture, I wasn't passionate about architecture. I was just
Mm-hmm,
doing it because my father said so. And
mm-hmm.
when I'm when I'm in this fight, uh, I learned to love architecture. I learned to to understand what architecture is about. So more the years come and more I'm experienced, I'm able to express myself. I'm able to be more creative, and I able to use architecture as a tool to help my country and maybe the world in the future. So I can say that this is one of the most enjoyable thing about architecture is it let you express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It let you express your artistic way in you, and what is more enjoyable about architecture.
Okay, good. Are there any negatives to your job?
Uh, but yes, it's not always perfect, but I think that
Mm-hmm.
negative is part of the way, because uh, I have a positive mindset. When
Mm-hmm.
we have a problem, we're trying to find a solution. And if you don't have a problem, there is no solution, because it's good. It's good. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's difficult because we cannot understand each other. So I think that's the negative part of architecture, and we don't have the necessary tool here in Senegal, in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
to 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 do whatever we want.
Okay. Um, is it true that the education provided in most schools of architecture in Africa is not compatible with realities. What are the reasons for you?
Mm, uh, uh, can you repeat the question?
Is it true that
Mm-hmm.
the education provided in most schools of architecture in Africa is not compatible with their realities?
Mm-hmm.
What are the reasons for you?
I think it's not
Yes.
it's not totally true, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
totally false. It's a 50-50 question
Right.
because the education that we have in the most of the school in architecture give us the
Mm-hmm.
tool to exert our to exert architecture in Africa or in Senegal. But
Mm-hmm.
it is false also because on site we see that we don't have the necessary tool or details that the school
Mm-hmm.
give us. So it's 50-50. We cannot say that it's true or it's not. And the second part of the question, can you repeat it?
What are the reasons?
The reason I think is what we learn from school is not always what we find on site. In school,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I can say that it's a perfect world,
Mm-hmm.
and in the reality, there are always problems, and you're trying to find the problem, find solution. You're trying to deal with human, with the perception of who you work with, and that's the reason why I think that it's not compatible with the reality, the educational that school provide for us.
Okay, good.
And also I may add that at school they don't give
Yes.
us the fully details that we
Mm-hmm.
can need in reality, because I remember when I was in school, we were not doing what called APD, avant projet détaillé. It's the
Yes.
detailed project of a project. So,
Mm-hmm.
and on site, this is the most important thing, because if you don't have the plan of the flooring plan, the tiles, the position of the
Mm-hmm.
tiles, in reality, we it's not the same project of it. we,
Yes.
we we are lying to ourselves. It's not the same project though. So I can say that the school not provide us the the experience to be compatible in the reality, but it provides the necessary tool to do our task.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. There was an article called Living in Dakar, a study of Senegalese housing and future development.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the buildings in Dakar, their evolution, and the problem you had in their renovation or their construction?
So what do I think about the building in Dakar?
Yes.
So what I see right now is that Dakar is a city in extension.
Mm-hmm.
So there is new building everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And new building everywhere mean that the building uh, are not really the identity of the old Dakar or our tradition. So the new building uh, are like the building in Europe or in the US or in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a problem for me, because we are losing our identity, we are losing our traditional building. So if you can ask another question to for me to explain myself, it's gonna be great.
Okay. Do you think it could be improved, and what solution could fix it?
Do you think it could be improved and what solution could fix it?
Yes.
Mm, it can be improved because we the construction industry is responsible about 39% of global pollution.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what we see in Dakar is all our buildings are made of concrete. So
Okay.
there is a problem because we
Mm-hmm.
are responsible of a huge amount in the global pollution, 39%.
Yes.
So why we are not gonna rethink about our way to build a home, to build a house? Why we are not going to use material that are more sustainable, that are more suitable to our weather and our climate? So I think there is a lot of research to do and a lot of solution because the past gave us something to we can hold on.
Okay. What advice will you give to the future architect of this country who will have a great challenge to take up?
Keep looking toward the future
Yes.
because there are so many innovative things that can be very helpful for the architecture here.
Mm-hmm.
But keep being attached to of our traditional plan, adapted to our way of life, technique and material for our country, for our weather, and for the world. Because we have to build an unperfect not not unperfect world but unlivable world, a world where the climate change will reduce a lot, where the architecture and the construction industry gonna reduce his pollution,
Mm-hmm.
and voila.
um, do you have a few words for the end to conclude?
Few words.
Yes.
I believe that architecture is a powerful tool to use for you, for me, for future
Mm-hmm.
architects, and we have to rethink what is most suitable, and we have to rethink what material we to use in our building. We have to rethink of our technique, and most of all, we have to preserve our identity. Because when you come to Dakar, it's like you are going to Paris. It's like you are
Mm-hmm.
going to New York City. There are high buildings everywhere. What about what about the legacy of the history? We don't see it. So it's important to to take the opportunity of the modernity, but also it's important to preserve our identity, to preserve the tradition, and to rethink the way of living, to rethink the way of building. That's my final one.
Okay. Thank you for granting me this interview time. It was very interesting, and I wish you a good day.
Thank you, Mark. Wish you the same.
Thank you.